Jason still looked uncomfortable. What'd he do? The princess held up a sliced toga against Jason's chest, as if measuring him for an assassination. Don't you know my story, my boy? You of all people should. You were named for him. Jason, Piper said. The original Jason. But then you should be dead. The princess smiled. As I said, a new life in a new country. Certainly I made mistakes. I turned my back on my own people. I was called a traitor, a thief, a liar, a murderess. But I acted out of love. She turned to the boys and gave them a pitiful look, batting her eyelashes. Piper could feel the sorcery washing over them, taking control more firmly than ever. Wouldn't you do the same for someone you loved, my dears? Oh, sure, Jason said. Okay, Leo said. Guys, Piper ground her teeth in frustration. Don't you see who she is? Don't you... Let's continue, shall we? The princess said breezily. I believe you wanted to talk about a price for the storm spirits and your satyr. Leo got distracted on the second floor with the appliances. No way, he said. Is this an armored forge? Before Piper could stop him, he hopped off the escalator and ran to a big oval oven that looked like a barbecue on steroids. When they caught up with him, the princess said, You have good taste. This is the H-2000, designed by Hephaestus himself. Not enough to melt celestial bronze, but definitely hot enough to melt it, or imperial gold. Jason flinched as if he recognized the term. Imperial gold? The princess nodded. Yes, my dear. We like that weapon so cleverly concealed in your pocket. To be forged properly, imperial gold has to be constructed in the Temple of Jupiter on Capitoline Hill in Rome. Quiet and powerful and rare metal, but like Roman emperors, quite volatile. Be sure to never break that blade. She smiled pleasantly. Rome was after my time, of course, but I do hear stories. And now, over here, this golden throne is one of my finest luxury items. Hephaestus made it as a punishment for his mother, Hera. Sit in it and you'll be immediately trapped. Leo apparently took this as an order. He began walking towards it in a trance. Leo, don't! Piper warned. He blinked. How much for both? Oh, the seat! I could let you have that for 5 great deeds. The forge, 7 years of servitude, and only a bit of your strength. She led Leo to the appliance section, giving him prices on various items. Piper didn't want to leave him alone with her, but she had to try reasoning with Jason. She pulled him aside and slapped him across the face. Oh, he said sleepily. What was that for? Snap out of it, Piper hissed. What do you mean? She's charm speaking you, can't you feel it? He knit his eyebrows. She seems okay. She's not okay. She couldn't even be alive. She was married to Jason, the other Jason, 3,000 years ago. Remember what Boreas said? Something about the souls no longer being confined to Hades? It's not just monsters who can't stay dead. She came back from the underworld. Jason shook his head uneasy. She's not a ghost. No, she's worse. She's... Children! The princess was back with Leo in tow. If you please, we will now see what you came for. That is what you want, yes? Piper had to choke back a scream. She was tempted to pull the dagger and take it down this witch herself, but she didn't like her chances, not in the middle of Her Highness's department store with her friends under a spell. Piper couldn't be sure they wouldn't take her side in a fight. She had to figure out a better plan. They took the escalator down to the base of the fountain. For the first time, Piper noticed 2 large bronze sundials, each of them the size of a trampoline, inlaid on the marble tile floor north and south of the fountain. The gilded oversized canary cages stood east and west, and the farthest of them held the storm spirits. They were so densely packed, spinning around like a super concentrated tornado, that Piper couldn't tell how many there were. Dozens, at least. Hey, Leo said. Coach Hedge looks okay. They ran to the nearest canary cage. The old satyr seemed to be petrified at the moment he was sucked into the sky above the Grand Canyon. He was frozen in mid-shout, his club raised over his head like he was ordering the gym class to drop and give him 50. His curly hair stuck up at odd angles. If Piper just concentrated on certain details, the bright orange polo shirt, the wispy goatee, the whistle around his neck, she could imagine Coach Hedge as his good old annoying self. But it was hard to ignore the stubby horns on his head, and the fact that he had furry goat legs and hooves instead of workout pants and Nikes. Yes, the princess said. I always keep my wares in good condition. We certainly can barter for the storm spirits and the satyr. A package deal. If we come to terms, I'll even throw in the vial of healing potion, and you can go in peace. She gave Piper a shrewd look. That's better than starting unpleasantries, isn't it, dear?